Good morning, everyone. Oh, not morning where you're at? That's okay, because you can have eggs for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Welcome to episode 43 of Three Eggs Are Better Than One. I am Brad Stanton, along with fellow eggs Matt M and Brian Remza. Again, we'd like to thank all of you for the positive feedback from last week. Thank you for watching the YouTube. Thank you for download or listening to the shows on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. It was the Mount Rushmore of our top four, basically, and we really enjoyed doing that. So if this is your first time listening, we always do what's called Sunny Side Up, which is our good news of the week. So what do we have this week, Matt? What's your good news of the week? Sunny Side Up, kiddo.
I did a horrible job. I mean, it's as we record NFL kickoff, my two least favorite teams going at it. I'm rooting for a tie. You got the Cowboys and the you got the Cowboys and the Eagles. Everybody loves football, right? So I'm very excited about that. That's a sunny side up. I'll tell you about one other little thing that happened in my life. A few days ago, I needed to call a company's customer service. We all know how that's can be a big pain in our lives. Fighting with a computer, getting somebody maybe you don't understand so well. Nice young lady comes on the phone and introduces herself. Hi, this is Alaska. So you so you know that stopped me in my tracks. Mr. cares so much about. I said, "Oh, Alaska?" And she said, "Yes, how can I help you?" Had no interest in discussing her unique name with me, of course. But I didn't name her. Go be mad at your parents. You know? That's all I got, guys.
Alaska.
Alaska.
That's her real name.
That's how she introduced herself.
I half expected this story to go with she said her name, and I just completely scrapped my problem and just asked 100 questions about her
I
name.
I mean, I would have asked more, but she was, I was not the first person to question it.
I'm
I'm
sure.
sure. I'm
I'm
sure.
sure. Yeah, I'm sure that happens a lot.
I remember there was a movie years ago called Juno, and that
Hmm.
was, strange enough
Yeah,
because that was her name,
that is
Juneau,
right.
Alaska.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just tying it all
I
together.
get it.
So I sometimes don't always do the sunny side up the same way as Matt and maybe Bryant don't do. And we don't have like a book topic because Matt doesn't read. So instead of making that a topic, I would like to talk about something I read recently, which I really enjoyed. It was called Just a Dream by Just Incredible, another wrestling book. Just Incredible, ECW wrestler, WWE wrestler. Never really made it to WCW, but he wrote a book. And I'm going to say this: if you're a wrestling fan, I wouldn't read this if you're not. But if you're a wrestling fan and you want the gritty, the down and dirty, like a no filter book that came from this guy's mouth, it is good. He talks about some things behind the scene that you would never expect. He doesn't hold back anything. There is another writer with him. Casanova's his last name, but they didn't hold back. He told his story. And if you're interested in a real wrestling book that also talks about the behind the scenes and drug addiction and everything like that, and just not afraid to put it all out there, and he's not afraid to embarrass himself or anyone else and talk people up as well, I highly recommend it. Came out in 2021. Very, very good. You guys either of you read it?
No, I have not. I'm
Yeah.
intrigued though by it now, so I have to see if I can find that. So
Um,
Go ahead.
I have not read it. I have read many wrestler biographies. And Matt M. reads, what are you talking about?
You kind of made it alluded to recently that you don't have time to read like you used to.
yeah,
Well, I mean, time is definitely a challenge.
Yeah, it
And
is.
the energy and the will to want to read. I spend all day long at work reading. I'm reading email, I'm reading Slack, I'm reading text messages, reading, sitting and reading, writing. You know,
Arithmetic.
yeah. So, sometimes I start to look at a book at night and I'm like, oh boy, I don't want to do this right now, you know?
Well, I don't sit down and read a book. Like I mean, 10 pages, 6 pages, 20 pages. If I have a few minutes and I just want to I think it's good. It's a good mental exercise as well. With when I started doing the ad-free shows thing and listening to so many podcasts, I really got away from it. And as much as I enjoyed listening to a lot of that content, and I am still reading wrestling stuff, but I read other stuff as well. But it's just sometimes I just wanted to help my mind a little bit. So I recommend the book, and I think everybody will enjoy it. Like I said, he doesn't hold back. So
No, we actually do not have a "What are you reading?" topic, do we?
yeah, because of you.
That's nonsense.
That's the reason.
Brad and I could pass it back and forth. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm reading Nate Bargatze's book right now.
That's lovely.
That's nice.
All right, maybe I'll think of a book.
No,
Eggs.
no,
How about an egg cookbook? That could be.
There it is.
I don't like it.
Always comes back to the cooking eggs thing.
All right, Bryant, you're up.
So I actually, on that note, I'm actually currently reading Soraya's book because that actually came as a gift from one Tony Schiavone. So,
And who's that?
Soraya is Paige.
No.
Oh.
Who's Tony Schiavone?
Oh, Tony Schiavone, the voice of our childhood, WCW's play-by-play guy. What happened when? Part of being on his Patreon is you get quarterly gifts, and this month the last quarter, the gift was he bought everyone a copy of Soraya's book.
And who's Saraya again? I'm sorry, I do.
That
like
is
her.
Paige.
Paige. WWE's Paige.
Yes.
AEW's Saraya.
AEW Soraya, yes.
Oh,
So.
he sent you guys a copy of her book?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool.
That is
Yeah.
cool.
So Matt kind of stole my thunder a little bit there. My sunny side up is we're going to continue football because it is now the NFL kickoff. Last week, the Nebraska Cornhuskers did their thing, made me so proud. They won, and now they'll disappoint me the rest of the year. And now it's time to get disappointed by my next team, the Denver Broncos. Denver fan all my life, and, we've been okay. We haven't been great. We've been okay. Drew Lock played very well last year, got us to the playoffs for the first time since Super Bowl 50. But it is the NFL season. It is the time to now enjoy all football from Thursday through Sunday and Monday, I guess, if you watch Monday night. Got to enjoy the Peyton and Eli portion of Monday Night Football because Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are great, but man, Eli and Peyton are fun. So for me, sunny side up is more football, and more football.
I'm off to a rocky start. Notre Dame lost their first game. Eagles are down 14-7 as we speak, but it's a long game to go and a long season to go. So we'll be all right, but I'm excited as well.
I did think Notre Dame was going to make that comeback with Miami. I really thought they had a chance, but clock management there still. It's first game of the year.
I'm not upset. Rookie quarterback, but this isn't.
Oh gosh, yes. First start, really. I mean, yeah, you're replacing the playoff team, so yeah.
In Miami, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we're excited for football and books. All right. So that brings us to Hard Boiled. Now, I don't know if I told my fellow eggs this, but I went to a concert last night. So let's go back a little bit. You guys aren't going to like this concert. My wife sees a billboard and mentions to me how much she would like to go see Benson Boone. Benson Boone's a very young singer, about 23 years old. He was originally on American Idol and then backed out of the top 24 because he said, I'm better off doing this without American Idol. And he has been a very big success. So I kind of blew her off at first. And I'm like, well, her birthday's coming up. This would be the only gift because these tickets were not cheap. So let me look at it. So I spent some time. There was only resale only. And I purchased the tickets. Now, I looked at it. And I made a mistake buying the tickets because I saw that we were down low. What I didn't notice, because I've never been to a show like this, at least not in a very long time, that they were general admission floor. Now, that's not necessarily the pit, as I was very, very scared, but it is down on the floor right in front of the stage with no seats. Now, let's talk about Benson Boone's fans. High school girls, grade school girls, college girls, maybe right out of college girls is the main group. So now I realize when I give her these seats, I give her to her for her birthday, we're going to be standing and we're going to be the oldest ones there. And we're going to be standing with a bunch of children. She's still on board. So she's like, no, I don't care. We're going to do it. And my daughters, who I don't know if you know, are 21 and 19, almost 19. They thought it was great. They were a little shocked that we were going, but they thought it was great. So I'm dreading this for months, knowing that I'm going to be standing in this. I'm not really a fan of Benson Boone. I mean, I know a couple songs. I'm not going to get into them right now. Google them. You'll know a couple if you listen to the regular radio. But I'm dreading this. So we drive down, and we're in the parking lot, and of course we have a cooler. That's not exactly the scene here. Is the cooler, and there's just kids everywhere, like preteen kids, preteen girls, and like exactly what we thought, high school girls and college girls, and most of them are with their parents. Parents brought them there. So we go in and we go down to the floor seats, and the woman actually looks at us. She goes, "Oh, you're on the floor?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're gonna be on the floor." Fuck me, right? So we're down there, and I'm like, "Well, I need a drink, you know." So I go up and I order two surf sides, double surf sides, or 24 ounces, $70.
What?
I swear to God, $70 for two 24-ounce surf sides. Now,
I
if
mean,
I'm not in a bad
wow.
enough mood now, oh my gosh, I am sick to my stomach. You guys know I've been cutting back on some things, not going out to eat as much. I cut out my cable, I cut out my Patreon. I'm just trying to do things better, to put money in the right places, and I'm spending 70 freaking dollars
That's
on
bad.
two drinks that if I could add that $70 was more than a case of that stuff. This is, I don't care what financial state you're in, this is highway robbery. Okay?
That's
Yeah,
really
that's a
bad.
ridiculous.
I
Ridiculous.
mean, I probably wouldn't have even taken them.
I didn't know what to do because I couldn't breathe. Okay, I couldn't breathe. And then they had the nerve to ask for a tip, and I can't believe I freaking did it. I did it. I did it, and I'm scratching my head, and I'm going like this. I'm massaging my head, and I'm so angry. I'm so angry. So I got the drinks, and I'm walking down the steps, and the guy hands me two giant plastic cups.
Yeah.
All right, there's these weird ass tabs on these things, on these cans, and you pull it back, and there's a hole, a very, very small, I would call it like almost a pee hole. All right, I am squeezing these cans into these cups on top of a trash can that is an arc. An arc. I'm scared to death. I'm scared to death these things are going to spill. Because if they spill, I just lost $70. So I'm being so careful. And I'm squeezing them. And I'm squeezing them. And the woman next to me goes, "Boy, you're trying to get every bit out of that." I'm like, "There's $8 left in this cup. I don't know if you realize that. There's $8 left in this cup." And that's one sip. So I bring it down, and I had to let her know. I had to let her know. She's made friends already. I cannot believe that she's talking to girls that are like 22 years old, and she's made friends already. Deb is actually having Sue is having the time of her life, like at this thing. So we have the drink, and somebody butts their way to the front. Now we got in our position early, and these two guys butt their ways to the front, and they're kind of like elbowing a little bit, and I'm not even noticing because they're really dancing. And she gets in their face and says, "Excuse me, we were here." And I appreciate you not elbowing me. They're like, "Well, there's very, very, packed here and this." And I'm like, "Are you really starting a fight? I just paid $70 for drinks. I'm not getting kicked out of here right now and getting in a fight with these two guys. I'm in for these tickets already and the $70 for drinks." So they work it out. But we're there for 4 hours. 4 hours standing in the same spot. You're not allowed to pee. You're not allowed to leave. You're not allowed to do anything because if you leave, you lose your spot, this important spot. So I am like, my legs are exhausted. I am so tired. I've never done anything like this in my life. And she's having a great time, but I'm telling you right now, I told her, I go, "I hope you're having fun because this is the last, I promise you, this is the last time we stand for any concert ever." Okay. We are 50 years old. I'm almost 50 years old. This time has passed. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if I was 22 years old, I'd be doing this either. So then we're leaving, and you know how traffic is, right? Traffic's always really easy getting out of a concert where no one leaves. So, there's seven, again, here we back with the traffic again, 7 people trying to get into the same lane. But I'm patient. I'm being patient. It's already 11:30 at this point. I'm patient. And then the guy in front of me, things are starting to open up. I'm like, all right, I see some light at the end of the tunnel. No. He stops his van because a guy selling t-shirts comes up to his car, rolls down his window. People are going in. I'm behind this guy. Are you kidding me? I'm behind the guy buying shirts all of a sudden oh my gosh, why does this shit happen to me? $70 drinks, my legs hurt, my feet hurt. I almost get into a fight with 2 guys, and I can't get out of here. hard freaking boiled, and mostly about the $70 drinks.
I so I thought you were on Sunny Side Up, and I was like, this is a hard boiled. What? Okay, I mean, I've been to the New York area venues, Yankee Stadium, the places that you know are going to charge the most for this stuff, and I have never seen that.
No.
Maybe if you go to like a fancy schmancy cocktail where it's like, oh, we know they're gonna put a premium tag on it. Like I think I saw a high noon can at the Prudential Center for $18,
Yeah, $18.
which is
It's
outrageous.
all outrageous. Anything over $10 is really
Which is,
$15 is outrageous.
but
$35 a
man,
piece. $35 a piece. Brian, I gave you a picture earlier today. I wouldn't mind if you would put it up for me.
I didn't know if we were ready for it. So I'm also going to ask this real quick here. You said $70. I can relate to that. When I went to God Awful Hinterland, one drink was $30.
Okay. I'm actually surprised to hear that because from what I understand, New York, LA, and Philadelphia are the most expensive stadiums in the world. We pulled this up today. If you guys don't have your video up for YouTube, I'm just going to let you know what it is. This is the Baltimore Ravens flock friendly fanfare. 11 items under $5. Barbecue chicken sandwich, $4.99. Nachos, hot dog, pretzel, French fries, peanuts, Blackbird chips, popcorn, 12-ounce beer, 24-ounce soda, and a 20-ounce water. That's what's on this list. This is what it should be. And now I understand we can all make more money here, but I have to give the Baltimore Ravens and the everybody in Baltimore credit for giving a shit about their fans and the people that go in there. It is not supposed to be a rich man's game. It
at least
isn't.
have options. You know, they don't.
But
Sure,
a $5 beer that does not exist in Philadelphia.
Nowhere.
Yeah.
Nowhere.
You know, and you know, we're not talking premium here, but at least I guarantee you this: the surf sides aren't $35 a piece here. I guarantee you that.
No.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing where it's like, well, I'm just not going to get it then.
Well, I'm not ever again. That is my last drink in a stadium, unless it's free.
Yeah,
I guess you know what I think it is? I think they found out that I was there with Cadillac a month and a half ago and had 2 free serve sides, and they said, "Oh, ding, ding, ding! Do you see who that is? That's Brad Stanton. He got us for 2. Let's make it up right here."
Yeah. I was going to say that's probably what happened.
That is probably what happened. An alarm went off. They knew who I was.
Oh my god.
Well, thanks for that, guys, because I needed to vent about that. Holy shit! And that's last night. And I'm tired. I got home at 1:30. 1:30 in the morning? Way too old. I worked today. Matt, we got a new topic or not a new topic, a topic that hasn't been done in a while. I don't even know what it is. Pickled eggs. Yummy. Eggs. Shout out Matt Whitaker. Or Mike Whitaker. I don't know who Matt Whitaker is.
Let's pause. Rewind. First of all, I do know exactly who Benson Boone is. And he has an interesting name, doesn't he? He could almost be Boone Benson in another universe.
Okay.
Brad's face.
Uh-oh.
Got some talent. I think he's going to am I frozen?
No, you're good now.
I think that Benson Boone is going to struggle to overcome that like first hit song that he had. I think that's going to be what he is forever. That's what
He's an entertainer for sure, though. I will say that he really puts on a show up there. He does flips. He was riding on a
he has Freddie Mercury energy
all over him.
Yeah,
women love him too. Women love him. There were women crying behind him.
Yeah,
crying.
I think they're in for a rude awakening, but yeah. Okay.
But he was very entertaining.
New topic alert.
Anyway,
pickled eggs, which has been on the topic list since the inception of the show and is debuting in week 43. Drunken escapades. Now, that's a tricky subject because I don't know if I want to reveal these sorts of things that have gone on in my life. Some things are better left to the people who were involved at the time, but I can share this one story because it is stuff of legend. Back many years ago when I graduated from college, my parents had a nice party for me and at their house in their backyard, and all my college-age friends came. And what do college-age people do when they're partying? They drink a lot. They play games like beer pong. Maybe it goes really late, maybe it gets out of hand. A lot of drunk people, people passing out. Everybody sort of slept over. I think people brought tents and camped out in the backyard. It was the summertime. And some people brought gifts because, as I mentioned, it was my college graduation party. Somebody brought as like a gag gift, sort of. Have you ever seen like a child's towel, like beach towel, that has like a headdress part of it that you
Yeah, not a fan.
right?
Yeah.
And then it kind of like hangs down like a cape, but I guess it's a way to keep it on a child.
Yeah,
Somebody
I had
brought
we had them
one.
here. Mhm.
What's that?
We had them here, yeah.
Yeah.
For the children. I think
So
duck ones.
it's for a kid. So somebody
Yeah.
brought one and it was a frog. So by the end of the night, I'm into the Jack Daniels. And again, this is many, many, many years ago.
Yeah, last week.
Drinking directly out of the bottle. And suddenly I reemerge and I'm wearing the frog. And it barely fits because it's meant for a child. And people started calling me Kermat instead of
Ah,
Kermit.
Ah,
see what they did
And
there.
and
I
I
like
was
that.
and whoever had not passed out yet, I was forcefully making them drink directly out of this bottle of JD with me. So I became known as Kermat the peer pressure frog, and that stuck around for a while.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy,
So
I didn't know where this was going to go when I put
Mm,
this on the outline. I'm glad you had something. I can't believe this is the debut of it.
day before
yeah.
So why
yeah.
this happened was because Mike Whitaker actually said, I think you guys should do a new topic called pickled eggs. I'm like, I think we have that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's bring some attention to that. So Mike Whitaker, that was for you, and I didn't even know what it was.
One other quick little tidbit of another story, because it's not worth a whole thing. There was another occasion where we were all visiting my friend in college in Philly, and we were all hammered, having a good time. And then there were some shenanigans where we were like horsing around a lot, like like wrestling, And my friend whacked his head pretty good. And we're like, oh man, like we could be in concussion territory here. And you know how when somebody has a concussion, one of the things is like you're not supposed to sleep, you're not supposed to let them sleep. And he was
Right.
like, "Nah, I'm sleeping. I hope I wake up." So I hope I wake up. It became a thing for a long time. I hope he wakes up.
Yeah, I would have taken my chances as well with that. That concussion thing pissed me off with the no sleeping thing.
Hmm.
You're freaking out of your mind, freaking tired. It's
Yeah.
like, so then it gets later and later at night. It's nighttime, man. Good one, Matt.
You've been pickled.
You've been pickled. I
Very
like it.
cold. Yeah.
That brings us to hatching, and it's been about a month or so since we've done this. Hatching is what we're watching on TV. We're big TV people, especially Matt. Um,
Mostly Matt.
mostly Matt. So, Bryant, we're gonna start with you since it's Matt's thing. Bryant, what are you watching?
Well, it's only coincidental, I guess. What I'm watching is it's a mini, I'm going to call it a mini series, only 4 episodes on Netflix. It's called America's Team. It is the story of Jerry Jones buying the Dallas Cowboys on Netflix. There's only 4 episodes, and it basically covers from when he buys the team to their Super Bowl wins and right afterwards and the struggles coming out of that. And it's a really interesting piece because they actually interview all the key players. They interview Jerry Jones, they interview Troy Aikman, Emmett Smith, Dion, Michael Irvin. They get a lot of the key office people as well. It's interesting to kind of hear it from their perspective because during the '90s, that early '90s run, they were the team. They became America's team again, winning those 3 out of 4 Super Bowls, and it's just kind of interesting to hear their perspective on it and how they portray themselves, even looking back now, seeing the kind of reflection they have on it. So to me, very interesting show, very, love the sports and, ties in as we've mentioned, Dallas is currently playing the Eagles as we are recording this. So
As we speak, as you see me looking this way.
yes,
We're all peeking.
So Jerry Jones, what's he like in it?
he's very open with it, but he's still kind of like, I don't know how I want to say it, but like he still plays it off as he feels he's the underdog and everything in this.
Hmm.
And like just hearing the backstage of how he bought the team and the reaction to everything and hearing him reflect even on like stuff he said is kind of interesting to me.
I don't know a lot about Jerry Jones, but I know I feel like to me he is the Vince McMahon of football.
Yes, 100%. Completely agree on that.
Matt, you were writing something down. What do you have?
I was just writing down like I'm such an ass. I would never watch something about Jerry Jones or like somebody that like I hate that organization. Like there is like a ESPN series about Tom Brady. I ain't fucking watching that.
Really?
Really?
I've never watched Fever Pitch about the
Oh,
Red
come
Sox
on.
about the Red Sox winning the World Series. I ain't watching that. Fuck that.
Matt, you hate the organization, not the players.
It's the Red Sox. Screw them.
Oh,
Still
come
the Red
on,
Sox. Oh,
bro.
come on.
They lost for like 110 years or something like that.
Sorry.
You
Not
won for
watching
like
it.
110 years.
Not
Yeah.
watching it.
You're
You know
such a
what
big,
you know
big
what I did
baby.
watch?
Oh, here we go.
I did watch
We're not at your top. We're not Hugh yet. Hold on.
No, this is different.
Okay.
even even though in the 90s I was a pretty good dedicated Knicks fan. I did watch The Last Dance, right? Michael Jordan thing. I mean, that was more like one of
I would
How
the
hope
could you
so. We
not?
had
That
nothing
thing was.
else to
There was
do.
I
nothing else
mean,
on. Yeah,
how great was that doc series? That was awesome.
it was amazing.
Yeah, but I never really had anything against MJ. I could respect how awesome he was,
Well, very
Continue.
good, Bryant. Very good. September 16th is here, everyone. Almost. It's coming. And that is episode or season 34 of Dancing with the Stars. Who's excited? Who's the cast this year? We have Jen Affleck from The Secret Wives of Mormon Lives, and which has been brought up on this show as well. And there is a second person from The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Whitney Levitt. We have Andy Richter, Robert Irwin, the son with the alligators. You know what I'm saying? Corey Feldman. But the reason I bring this up at all is because egg favorite Danielle Fishel, Topanga, is going to be on this year's Dancing with the Stars. So I know all three eggs will be front and center September 16th when it's on.
And
Am I
she's
right?
gonna win. I'm calling it now. She wins. I don't know what they dance or what they do, but I guarantee she wins.
Yeah, I guarantee it as well. Two people from the Mormon show? Like, they usually have someone from Big Brother. They usually have someone from The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, couple athletes. They have a system. They have a way. They try to connect with everybody. Two nostalgic actors, stuff like that. But two from the same show? What is this, amateur hour? Come
Yeah.
on.
Definitely agree on the egg favorite Topanga, but there is zero chance I will watch that. I wouldn't even stop scrolling in a social media feed to watch a clip.
Let me ask you this. If it was Topanga in that social media clip and they said that she put on the performance of a lifetime in something
Nope.
scantily clad, if you will, would
You're
that be
watching.
something you might stop on your social media feed for?
I don't think so.
Oh, get the hell out of town.
I liked Topanga when I was her age as a teenager. As an adult, I'm like, I'm over it, I guess.
Oh, you can't grow old together?
I guess.
You're probably safe. She probably thinks the same thing about
I
you.
think I missed my chance.
Yeah, you probably did. And like just like I said, she probably missed it with you as well.
She could have had me. She wanted.
I was a little old for her, as I am with everybody now. But Matt, what are you watching this week?
So I have been watching a Hulu show, not Apple, and it is called The Twisted Tale of Amanda Knox, which is a dramatization of the real life story of Amanda Knox, and it is based on the book that she wrote about it herself. So it is largely from her perspective. Now, before I go any further, are you guys familiar with Amanda Knox and her case?
Yes.
Bradley?
Just keep talking.
So,
I don't know yet.
I do know. I do often have an interest in the very high profile true crime sort of cases, and this was one. The crime happened in 2007 in Italy. 20-year-old college student, American college student, studying abroad, living in a house with other college age women of different nationalities, and one of them turned up murdered. This is real life we're talking about here. And It was a pretty brutal situation, and there was a lot of confusion, and Amanda ended up being tried for murder. And she didn't speak Italian very well. The portrayal. So I watched a documentary first a couple years ago to familiarize myself. Now watching the dramatization, I mean, it is very much a dramatization because it's like almost silly at times. But I can appreciate it because it's almost like it's being presented from her 20-year-old, like not fully developed adult mind. So you kind of feel like you're her because you're like confused and people aren't speaking English and you feel like you're getting railroaded by everybody. The police are out for you, the media is out for you. So I think it's a 6 episode limited. I've only watched three, and I think only four have actually been out. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't remember all the details of the case or how everything turned out legally. So I'm excited to kind of like relearn about what happened. But it's pretty good, and it was a very and it was slash is a very high profile case. So whenever there's an American in trouble abroad, that tends to bring a lot of attention, for better or worse. And I'm really liking the show.
Hmm. I did not know. I mean, it's been a long time. I probably maybe heard, but I haven't watched it. My wife watches that stuff constantly.
Yeah, I mean, it
Kind
was
of
all.
exhausted me on it, honestly.
I mean, the incident was almost 20 years ago, so
Hmm.
that's a long time.
Yeah. Brian's watched the entire thing.
I have not, but I know all about it because my wife loves stuff like this. She's very big into true crime and all this stuff. And the moment she saw the commercial, she immediately binged the whole thing. She knew the whole story in advance. And naturally, as most of our wives probably do, they tell us all about it. So,
Yeah. It's amazing that they love this kind of stuff. But
mm,
my wife does loves this stuff too. And Matt M.
yeah.
She doesn't love Matt M necessarily. She likes Matt M, but she likes the stuff that Matt M
Yeah,
likes,
I
and
mean,
Matt M likes the stuff that she likes.
I'm not like an obsessive true crime person. I don't listen to random podcasts and stuff. But I do try to familiarize myself with the bigger cases because I think they're bigger cases for a reason, because you learn all the details and you can feel so strongly one way and then you can feel so strongly another way. But nowadays, every streaming service has 100 of these, and
Yeah.
there there's no way that they're all as good of
No,
a story, you know?
they definitely go one way or another to try to frame it the way they want.
Yeah.
Well, very good, Matt. Thank you guys for playing Hatching. Well, Bryant, you've been waiting for this.
I don't know if I
Feel
want to
like
say
for a long time.
I don't know if I
Omelet
want to say
time with Bryant.
waiting. I don't know if I want to say waiting for this, but I
You've
have
been
been.
waiting for it,
I
okay?
have. This
Waiting.
is fun. This is fun for me. So we're all creatures of habit. We all have our kid things that we still hang on to a little bit. And for me, as the wrestling fan, I still have a majority of my action figures from when I was a kid. My WB figures, the Hasbros, the LJNs, the Jack Pacifics. There's so many. And another thing that I've been slowly kind of collecting a little bit more, some Star Wars figures, Back to the Future figures. And as you go out to try to find these figures, you also kind of realize, man, some of these people don't understand price, reasonability. We mentioned a few weeks ago trying to buy a poker set and how people don't understand, logic. But then it kind of just made me wonder about action figures and, how the rise of this has been. And let's be realistic, the first action figure wasn't even really, you know, it's more out there is, there were always the dolls for the girls and what do you have for the little boys? Brad probably played with sticks as kids. I don't know for sure, but you know, the first action figure wasn't even really, they didn't know how to describe it. It was Hasbro and the creation of the G.I. Joe. The G.I. Joe is deemed really the first action figure out there designed for boys because they couldn't call them dolls because, boys don't play with dolls. We know that. So G.I. Joe is really the first figure out there that kind of makes the mainstream. And it's 1964 is the
Wow.
first year of this. So the first real credited action figure is 1964. We see at the time Hasbro really has the market on it because they have that G.I. Joe line. It's not until more in the 1970s when things kind of explode in the toy market. You have the explosion of superheroes. You've got Batman now, you got Wonder Woman, Superman, you have Spider-Man, you have all these other figures coming out to kind of flood the market and give kids that more variety for everything that you have. But the biggest boom and the highest popular figures that are out there right now are Star Wars, which is shocking to say. Star Wars comes out with its first line of figures in the late 1970s to kind of help co-op with the movie. And those kind of are the thing that take collecting now as adults, but at the time, that's the big boom of the toy is Star Wars, which is kind of crazy to think about because, with the superheroes, you would think that would be the thing, but no, it was actually Star Wars. And how the toys helped make the movie more of a success because kids got the toys, then kids wanted to see the movie. Or, you take your son to the movies and you go to the toy store and there's that Han Solo figure, there's the Chewie figure. That's what you want to get. And that's what got the popularity even more. And, it's why now you see so many new Star Wars figures all the time because as the movies progress, the figures progress. And obviously for boys, you don't want to call them dolls, but you have the variety. As you get older, there's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's Power Rangers from my youth of always wanting to play with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. But also for me as a kid, it's the collecting of the wrestling figures, the action figures. That's what, as a wrestling fan, really got me going. Yes, I had the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but who didn't enjoy having Hulk Hogan? I mean, your Hulk Hogan LJN that, also with the awesome bendiness on it as well to kind of have you, make sure you hit the big leg on people, And then also as a kid, you have, your Hasbros. The most popular line of figures, it's the figures that all of the guys my age now are collecting, trying to recollect anyway, because most of them get rid of them when you get older, because that's how people are. So, but as a kid, I mean, let's be realistic. When you get Sue and she goes, it's this or the toys, Sue wins 90% of the time. Let's be realistic. But it's interesting to me to see the evolution of the toy as well and how they go from catering to the different age groups. You have your bigger toys for your younger kids that are, the choking hazard, or you have, as you get older, the figures grow. So you have, ranging from the tiniest figures to the biggest figure to, figures that are, almost 12 inches tall. So I know I didn't say there was homework here, but I just also wanted to incorporate the fellow eggs here. What action figures did you guys have? What did you guys play with as kids?
Go ahead, Madam.
So I did have some action figures. I was not the biggest on action figures, though. I was much more into video games growing up.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought pretty hard and I remembered some things. I did not have any Star Wars figures. And I did not have any wrestling figures, which is
really
crazy, right? Because I'm a big wrestling fan, but I did not. I have a very early memory, and I don't even know what this is, but I had the Teddy Ruxpin blimp. Whatever that is, I remember having it.
Love it.
I did have He-Man, and what's the bad guy's name?
Skeletor,
and I had Castle Grayskull. And that was kind of a big deal, right?
That is cool.
You had
Very
like
much
play,
so. I have.
and you had the play set as well.
Yeah.
And this one I remember most clearly, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
I had a lot of those. I had
Who's your favorite turtle?
It was probably Michelangelo, right?
Good. That's the only answer.
Yeah.
It is. It is the correct answer.
The Raphael fans are weirdos.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, never really. Yeah. Anyways, I had those, and I remember having those. I think I kind of remember, I can remember things really specifically sometimes. And I think it was like a birthday and like somebody gave me like a $50 gift certificate, like a paper one to Toys. So we went and got $50 worth of Ninja Turtles toys. which, maybe nowadays is two things, but it was probably 10 things when I was a kid, you know? So that was pretty awesome. There you go.
So as a kid, I always liked sports, and as an adult, I still do, and I'm still like I go to the gym and I work out. But I was a toy kid, and maybe like to the point where I feel like Toy Story was based on me. I know that seems silly, but I did what he did. I combined my toys, and I would play in my room, and I would combine like my different sets of everything to be against each other, to work for each other, didn't matter. But I did what he did. Almost, I may have left out the piggy bank, but I did a lot of that. And my favorite toys overall were the LJN action figures for WWE. I had the ring. I had a lot of different wrestlers. Now, I did like my Hulk Hogan. It was my first one, and I did get it with the Iron Sheik, just like just about everybody did at that time, because you had your villain versus your hero. But they weren't my favorite because the way to play with them wasn't as easy as some of the other ones. Like Iron Sheik was like this. You know what I mean? He was flexing. I mean, who fights that way? Nobody. So I really liked my Big John Stud because he was out like this and he could do that great body slam. Or Corporal Kirishner, who nobody knows anymore, was punching. Greg the Hammer Valentine had a hand up here and a hand down here, like he was punching. Like there were certain ones I liked better than others because of that. And I always liked Junkyard Dog as well, which was the first African American action figure. And I loved those. I love that. And I used my room, like I had a headboard and we would jump off the top of the headboard onto the ring. I broke that ring and I broke it again. And I got another one and I broke it again. I had a Hulk Hogan, the arms fell off, broke off. So I love that. And He-Man was also real big with me, like you said, Matt. And I had, He-Man, Man at Arms, Tila, and then you had Skeletor, Beastman, Castle Grayskull, and then you had Skeletor's castle as well, which I can't really remember. You had Battle Cat and you had his Panther. I had all those. I wasn't as big of a fan as the G.I. Joe. Now, when I see G.I. Joe today, they're always talking about the tall action figure. My G.I. Joes were like bendy little guys that like bent, like every part of them bent. I had them, I liked them, but they weren't my favorite. Now, as far as the Star Wars, Brian, which was really neat about those, is they had every single everybody was represented in the movie. It could have been the smallest part ever. You got it, like the band in the first one.
Yep.
Well, it was the New Hope, the band in the bar. I had those guys. Just very cool. I had all the ships, and then I also had the thumb wrestlers that were like I didn't even know what to do with them.
Yeah, there's no idea how to control them or do anything with
But
them.
I had them. Always a big fan of the Hulk. Had like a lot of different Hulk characters. Had a couple Superman, even though I'm a bigger Superman fan now, and the Spider-Man and the Batman. And then I had my stuffed animals too. I'm not embarrassed to say it. I had them, different ones, and I would get them involved in my little story time here. And then as I got older, I started collecting the Pez dispensers, and I still have the Pez dispensers. All my toys, though, I played with them. They're destroyed. Okay, it wasn't like I gave them away. I played with them until they were gone, and I played with them in like probably a little longer than I should have.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, no, and that's the thing. Like, you look at the toy genre, and most of them you would think are geared towards, superheroes, but actually the biggest toy genre out there is Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it shows you that most of the time, the way that they would try to tie your movie in with your kids is to create the action figure, because then if you put the action figure out before the movie, it creates the interest, get your kids to go to the movie. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, as Matt mentioned, is a great example. You have the movie, then you get the action figures, and now you just obsess more with these Ninja Turtles that they just become kind of part of your life at this point. So, but there's so much out there, and they're always going to evolve. There's always going to be new toys. There's always going to be more about it. But it leads me to this. In doing all this, it made me go. And as I said, I'm always hunting toys. I'm always looking for new figures. As I said, I will always keep collecting, as I just bought a new figure the other day. But it made me kind of wonder, what is the most expensive action figure ever sold? What is this figure? What is this rare figure out there? And it actually turns out it was just sold here within the last few years. It was a Boba Fett action figure made by the Kenner Toy Company in 1979. And it's considered a rare figure because it wasn't mass produced as well. There were only a select amount made for it. So it's very rare. You don't see it. It's mainly kept by the main collectors. But it was sold at auction, and it became the highest grossing action figure sold for selling for a whopping $525,000
Oh my gosh. Boba Fett. Who
for a
even knows?
Boba Fett action figure that is literally this tall. I mean, it's
I
nothing.
had it.
Yeah,
Man.
I had it.
$525,000 for this action figure.
I
of
didn't even
Boba
like
Fett.
Boba Fett.
And but that's the thing. It's the figures you don't think about. Like a Boba Fett, you would never think that that's the figure that's going to become so rare. But it's something like this. It's those little things that, and the hunt is always out there. We all know Matt Cardona as in the pro wrestling space, who's hunted figures his whole career. He's trying to own every figure ever made. There's always going to be people out there buying. It's always, what is it worth to you? Are you willing to spend this? And to know that someone was willing to spend $500,000 on a Boba Fett.
Wow.
How old is this
It's
Boba
crazy.
Fett? Is this Boba Fett from like the 70s and 80s, or is it a new
Yes.
Boba Fett?
No, it's from 1979.
Yeah, I had it.
So
I had it.
I have a couple of comments.
Please.
First of all, tough decision, do I want to spend $500,000 on the Boba Fett figure or a couple of cases of Surfsides?
Yeah.
That's
true.
tough.
Ouch.
So is this okay? Something's triggering in my head here. I mean, Empire Strikes Back didn't come out till 80. So Boba Fett didn't appear on screen until after this figure came out. Is this the one that's like there's something about whatever version of Boba Fett it is never actually was portrayed in the movie, and that's why it's so special? Something like that.
Correct. Yes. So it's the original concept piece for Boba Fett. That was never released, and it was just kind of like their mock-up of him.
There you go.
And then it changed
Brad?
but Brad probably had the generation that came out after, but
I
this one
feel better knowing I didn't have it, be honest with you.
So, but yes, $525,000 for a Boba Fett action figure. It's Boba Fett. I don't know. I mean, I enjoy it. It's a great character, but
it's an okay character that's been blown out of proportion.
If you told me this was a Han Solo or a Luke Skywalker, I'm on board.
I'm a Jabba the Hutt man myself, but
just a little fun action figures this week. Kind of have some fun.
Jabba guy. No one's a Jabba guy.
I'm a Jabba guy. I'm a big Jabba guy.
No, I might be a Leia as his prisoner guy.
I didn't mind that card as well. That was a nice
Jabba guy. Yeah,
I'm a Jabba guy. Just wanted to mention Mike Whitaker.
You are a jobber.
He said that he was a big Ninja Turtles fan, and he was a Michelangelo fan as well. Good. I also want to mention that I was a big Transformer guy too.
Oh, absolutely.
I wouldn't know if they're toys or dolls, but you played with them like they could have played with He-Man to me.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's the way I look at it.
Absolutely.
So guys, I went to for the next topic. Great job, Bryant. I went to Cadbury eggs, which is just candy or sweets. And the reason I did is because we went an hour 11 last week, which is a little long for us. And I was a little nervous about this week. So I know we can't spend too much time on this. So guys, Matt, what are you eating that's a sweet?
So recently, as documented on the show, I visited Buc-ee's on a road trip about a month ago, and we loaded up on goodies there. And one of the things was they had these little, like, bigger than bite-size caramel chocolates. And do I love caramel? Although I'm not the biggest chocolate guy or candy guy, really. I mean, I could binge it, but I try to stay away. So
like bread, right?
We collected, like what?
Like bread.
Exactly.
You love bread.
No, I like bread way more. So I bought a bunch of them, and the intention was eat a couple and keep a couple for a rainy day, and bring some into people at work. Sometimes people at work go on vacation, then they bring me something back, like a treat or something. So I thought that would be nice to reciprocate. So I handed some out to people at work. I gave one to my boss. So when I gave one to my boss, she was like in the middle of a video meeting. So we didn't talk about it. I just gave it to her, and her eyes lit up. And like 2 hours later, I'm like leaving the office, and from across the hallway where 30 people could hear, Matt! Yeah, Matt, Where did you get that? She had no idea what Bucky's was or anything. I had to go through the whole thing. She's like, "That's the best candy I ever had. You better have more. You're holding out on me." I had to cough up another one. And then, like, a few days ago, I realized, wait a minute, Sue, you have a stash too? She's hoarding her own stash of them,
Smart.
which, of course, I took some. There you go.
It's awesome, dude.
Is it?
I do think so because you did everything you possibly could with the topic. I think that's what pleases me the most.
Yeah, I
But at
got
the same time, might disappoint me because this is supposed to be the shorter version of the show.
sorry, I dipped the whole washcloth in the water and I wrung it all the way
Yeah,
out.
you actually did a egg whites, bringing Bucky's back into the situation,
Always at
Yeah.
egg whites.
and you always find a way to let us know that you really don't like to eat this stuff. It's cracks
But I
me up.
do. I hate it.
I try to stay away from sweets and bread and food in general, but for this particular situation, I like it today. Anyway, my Cadbury egg is for some reason we have a lot of candy in the house, but during my 68-day fast of alcohol, sweets, and just eating healthy, I really got myself together. Well, that ended at Easter. We all know that. So I come home one day and like I always say, there's always an Amazon package coming to our house, and no matter what, there's one, there's two. When Sue goes away for a week or for work, I mean, I have like 19 boxes that are just unopened. I don't know what to do with. Well, on this particular day, she opens it up, and it's a 5-pound container of Twizzlers. You don't think it doesn't look like much, but when you get your hands in there, that Twizzler box never ends. So it seems like about every night before I go to bed, I look at that box and I'm like, I shouldn't be eating candy. I mean, what would Matt M say? And but temptation wins me over, and I grab two or three, and then I eat them, and then I say, you know what, I'm gonna make one more for just in case I run out before I get upstairs. We are about down to 1 pound out of this 5-pound container of Twizzlers, which I'm really gonna miss once it's gone.
I do think Twizzlers is a fat-free candy.
Yeah, I don't, but it's contained completely of sugar. I mean,
It's sugar.
sugar turns into something else, which is, I'm sure it's not good for me.
Well, when you're also eating like 10 pieces at a time, I'm sure that's not.
It's probably a good 6 to 11.
There it is, Sam. That's probably not helpful. I don't know.
I
Here's the
usually
real
have
question.
2 or 3 right away, take a couple with me, then I maybe walk back because I might have, I just need one more.
I might be in the minority here, and I probably am because this is how this works. I prefer the pull apart Twizzlers.
I
Wow.
love the pull aparts as well.
Okay.
I'm not saying that I like one better than the other. I just need them different. I need the different licorice at different times. And I'm going to say something that's going to be really unpopular here.
Don't say it.
Every
Don't.
once in a while, I eat a red vine.
Don't. I thought you were going to say black licorice.
No, that's unacceptable. And you know what? There's alcohol that tastes like black licorice. We all know what it is. I could deal with that, but I'm not. That's just because really alcohol doesn't taste good for the most part, except for
That's
a
true.
Surfside, which you pay the premium for. But black licorice, no. But every once in a while, red vine, which is completely different than Twizzler,
And
just a completely different kinds of licorice. And most people don't like them, and I don't want them all the time, but once in a while. But I do like that pull apart too, because I just like it's also very satisfying to pull it apart, and then I have all these small pieces, like small skinny pieces, and I'm like, game on.
I will add it to your food quota list. And you know what? The pull aparts, because aren't they exclusively cherry?
I will
Yes.
have to look into that because the other ones
I
are
believe so.
strawberry or cherry, correct?
Mm.
Yeah, the other ones are strawberry cherry. The pull aparts are just cherry. Yeah.
Gross.
It's not that much different.
You wouldn't notice it. You
No,
wouldn't notice it at all.
Oh, I noticed.
I notice there's a difference, but I like them for what they are. Now, I think they're getting a little fancy with the different colors altogether.
Yes.
I for six it's just red. I'm good with red in general.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah, this all happened after 2000.
Yeah.
These are the next cinema. Like I can't even talk.
Bread, full use of washcloth as well.
This is the longest topic ever.
Ah.
All right, Bryant.
I'll make mine short and sweet. Here we go.
There you go. That's perfect. No pun.
I love Trolley sour gummy worms. Now, I am also partially legally obligated at this point to mention that my company has now partnered with Trolley and has a soda with Trolley in it. But they also, in return, made a flavor with that Trolley as well. So there's now, spoiler here, Mountain Dew Trolley gummy
Wow.
worms. And I naturally have to eat them because I just love Trolley sour gummy worms. And they're fantastic. Like, I don't know, I didn't think they would have a good taste to it because the soda is it's delicious. But yeah, I love sour gummy worms and I will eat Trolley as much as possible. Sue likes to buy me the big um it's not 5 pounds, I think it's like a 3 pound bag for my birthday every year and Christmas because I love them so much. So there's mine. Make it short and
Well,
sweet
is
for
there
you.
a Mountain Dew Code Red candy?
Not anymore. No,
There should be.
there should be,
It's
but not anymore.
delicious. Sorry, Matt,
And
I talked over you.
no, I didn't. A big fan of sour gummy worms.
Oh, so good.
You know,
So good.
on those rare occasions where I decide to indulge in candy.
Of course. Very rare.
Try not to.
The perfect moment has to hit for it.
Cadbury.
Which brings us to Eggs Benedict. It's been a while, fellas.
It has.
So who am I going to talk about? Am I going to talk about a wrestler? Nah. Let's talk about a movie, The Shining. You ever read or see the movie The Shining?
Of course, seen it. I don't
Jack
read.
Torrance.
I didn't even know it was a book.
Jack Torrance, played by Jack Nicholson. So he is the lead in this movie. And at the start, Jack is framed as a struggling but sympathetic man. He's a father trying to redeem himself after past mistakes, alcoholism, and hurting his son Danny's arm. So they're trying to do different things. They move to the Overlook Hotel. He takes on a job there, seemingly with good intentions. Provide for his family, write his book, and start over. I mean, classic babyface setup. The redemption arc, fighting the personal demons. Everybody's rooting for Jack. But, like in wrestling, hints are dropped early that Jack might not stay the way he is. He's distanced himself from the family. His temper, his addiction, his addiction history, and his fragile ego all are teasing the heel seeds. He yells at his wife. Why? Because she says, "Have you written anything today?" You know, I can honestly say I can understand where that might get under your skin when you have writer's block. Did you write anything today? What are you even doing in the house? Are you cleaning? Are you doing anything? Are you taking care of our kid? Can you just leave me alone? And as I think he said, well, maybe if I hadn't have you interrupting me every fucking 5 minutes, ask me if I'm writing anything, I would. But still, it was a little aggressive, especially as a young man when I saw it for the first time. So then the Overlook Hotel becomes his manipulative heel manager, whispering in Jack's ear, pushing him further down the dark path. Slowly, Jack stops being a family man and turns into the villain. His alliance shifts from protecting his wife and son to protecting the Overlook's interest. The breaking point, the true scary part of the movie, was when the infamous "Here's Johnny" scene. At this point, Jack isn't just conflicted, he's fully turned, embracing his role as the monster, terrorizing his wife Wendy and his son Danny. It's the equivalent of most of what we see in wrestling today. The slow build to the complete turn. I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. He goes crazy. He's a complete heel. You kind of see from the beginning he may not be a good guy, but he is trying to be a good guy. But the loneliness, the I don't know. You never really find out totally. Is it really the hotel? Is it him? Is it the quiet? Is it being alone? Did he always have this inner crazy? Who knows?
It's an excellent movie. Is it Stanley Kubrick?
Yes.
And it was a
Kubrick did that
Stephen
one.
King book, right?
Mhm.
Phenomenal movie. I mean, Kubrick's movies were always visually pretty amazing. I thought so anyway. And yeah, I remember seeing it as when I was a lot younger, and then I saw it as an adult and like really, really, really appreciated it as an adult. The Descent into Madness. Now, wasn't there a follow-up novel and movie?
Much, much later, called Doctor Sleep,
Yeah,
where Danny's an adult. I did not see it.
I did not either.
I heard it was fine. I heard it was good. It was Stephen King,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
So it was he wrote the sequel. So he must have been thinking about this for a long time, probably waiting for
Yeah.
his moment.
Yeah. I,
It's kind of cool that it came out way later when Danny would be an adult.
yeah. So I do want to I want to throw this in there. Have either of you been to the hotel in Estes Park?
No,
Well,
What?
you've been, Matt. You have family out in Colorado.
that is true. I know. I'm aware that it is a real place in Colorado.
So I have been to the hotel. It is a tourist place. You can go there, and they do ghost tours as well. Um, and they tell you the full story of how Stephen King was there and the inspiration and the moment that he came up with the story and what his thought process was. They even block off the room so that way you can see where he was, and they talk about how that part of the hotel is haunted and all of these things. And it's interesting to see that, go out there and hear that version of it. Also to note that Stephen King hated the Stanley Kubrick version, which is what led to the miniseries The Shining, which was done by Stephen King himself. I don't know if you guys saw that.
That's
In
funny that you say that because Stephen King has a lot. He has trouble ending books. I think been open and out front about that. And there's
Yeah.
times when the movies actually twist things a different way. They rewrite things a different way. And he's like, you know what? You didn't like my ending anyway. And I'm surprised that he didn't like this.
Yeah, he said he didn't like the liberties that he thought Stanley Kubrick took in changing the story from the story he wrote to the movie, which sometimes, as we all know, that's what you do with that. When you take it to the screen, you add your own twist to the book a little bit. You stick to some of it, but you change it a little bit. But yeah, there's a miniseries that was done because they filmed the miniseries at the hotel.
Hmm.
Stephen King bought the whole hotel out to film everything there himself, paid for everything, and basically just followed from page one of his book to the final page
That just
to
goes to
film
show
it.
how much he loved his book because
Yeah.
that's so unlike him. Because there's a series that was out called Under the Dome that was based on one of his novels that actually changed everything completely to a different story. And he's like, he was good. It's funny that you say that. And I think
Yeah.
the scariest part of the movie for me, and it wasn't even scary for most people, was looking at the maze. When
Yes.
you saw them going into the maze, and then you go above it and you see how big the maze is. You think, how they getting out of there?
Hmm.
And it never happened, and everything came out of that,
No.
really. But
No.
that it's just little freaky things in that movie, just little freaky things. Joey from Friends had to put that book into a freezer because he was so scared.
It's true.
Anyway, great movie, but I think a definite heel turn there. The
No, absolutely.
fans who once may have wanted to root for his redemption now watching horror as he chases his own family with an axe, cementing himself as the main heel of the story.
well done.
Yeah, it was okay. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. Matt, why don't you hit it with the socials?
Well, thank you for joining us. This has been $70 worth of eggs is better
Oh,
than one.
God.
Cooking up every Monday morning at 6:30 a.m. Eastern on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. Follow us on YouTube at 3 eggs are better than one. The number 3, the letter R, the number 1. Follow us on X, Blue Sky, Instagram, and TikTok at 3 eggs are better. The number 3, the letter R. And our individual accounts at Yes Man Brad, at B Haremza. I am at Purple Shirt Guy without the I. How about some 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts? And please comment on our YouTube, including regarding next week's topic. Matt M has given the other eggs homework prior to now. Please bring with you your favorite spoken by you quotes that you use in your real life from TV and movies. And for those listening, you can participate as well, putting them in our YouTube comments this week. Let me give you an example of what I'm looking for. If you find yourself saying something like, that's what she said all the time, which is a popular quote, maybe it predated The Office, but that's certainly where it became the most well known. But that's the sort of thing I'm looking for. What do you say in your real life that you've pulled from pop culture that is now part of your vernacular? Next week.
Very good, Matt. Bryant, take us home.
I was going to say, we thank you guys for joining us this week. We've had a lot of fun just chatting it up, learning some sweets. Apparently, we like candy more than we thought. I don't know here. Learn some action figure talk, and maybe we stick away from alcohol for a little bit at these big venues. We thank you guys. The egg timer's been set. We'll see you guys next week.